was quite an, thank you, Rashmi.
Yeah.
This is quite a very important session, especially for us that are going to do our ice breaking, our first speech for the first time. So my name is Maria Mabela. I am the club vice president education, responsible for all education program. You know, as soon as you join Toastmasters, the education program, I'm looking after that. Yeah. So this also is part of my key responsibility to ensure people are taking up the meeting roles, people are doing their speeches, but also we are equipping you before as you're actually taking up this Toastmasters journey. Yeah, so it's very honored to have you here. And yeah, together with me, we have Rashmi. Rashmi is our club president. I think later on she will further elaborate more about herself. Yeah, so I think we can quickly start for the purpose of time. Let me see, where's my slide? Let me just share. Kindly confirm if you're able to see my screen. Can you all see my screen?
It's a started sharing. Yes, now we can
yes.
see.
No.
Thank you. So, Rashmi,
Yes.
do you think we need a timer for this call? Because I think we just need to. I think this presentation for me, it has to be 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, so yes, I can
So
time
that's,
it.
you can time, great, thanks. So if I had to go to the next slide. So for me, what I'll do, I'll just take you through how we can actually control our fear. Because I know, I understand it's going to be our first time doing our first speech in front of the club. So probably you're wandering around, but I really wish at the end of this presentation for you to be able to see how best you can control your fear and to know that it is very okay to forget. Because I think with Toastmasters, it's an area that you get that opportunity to practice. Yeah. And we are there to cheer for you. So do not be afraid. So maybe if we are to start with what fear is, probably we all know this is actually an emotional response that is actually perceived to threat or a danger. And this danger can actually be a real or imagined. So for what I would say for public speaking, usually it's more about what is actually imagining. And you may actually go in front of doing your speech and everything to just be all right. It's just that first step that really matters. Yeah, so we understand we should just recognize that fear is there, but all shall actually go well. So if you are to see what really triggers the fear, the anxiety, so it's the new and unknown situation. We do understand you are the new members to Toastmasters. So this is going to be your first time. So you're really trying to navigate. You're really not sure what the situation is going to be around, but this is actually what I think, even for me, it was the first new thing to do. So definitely you get that kind of fear, but also risk of failure. We do know, like, probably you think, what if I fail? What if I go on stage and forget everything or forget some of the line that we've actually prepared? I am kindly encouraging you. It is okay. Failure, it is part of learning. Yeah, so you just need to accept it and see how we are moving forward. Yeah, but also there is that potential for appearing foolish. Probably you are thinking that your speech probably may be you may actually appear foolish, yeah, of which, and for this, I can actually share my personal example. I recall the first time I attended Toastmasters meeting and I was called for a table topic session where I just stood there. I had a lot of things in my mind I wanted to speak, but I couldn't speak because I had that, what if I appear foolish? You know, I was that having that self-doubt. However, you find Toastmasters is a very supportive environment. We listen to anything without judging, but rather we do love giving feedback, constructive feedback. Yeah, so probably we may be thinking, okay, what if what I'm going to present is may appear foolish? It is very much okay. We are there to listen, but also to support you. But also possibility of appearing, boring the audience. It is part of the learning. I think it is how now are you making your presentation being a bit engaging with an inclusion of having like some sort of a question just to bring attention to your speech, to connect with your audience. Yeah, so these are actually some few of what really triggers this fear or the anxiety. And if you're to go to the next slides, like what are the really symptoms? Yeah, so we may find the heartbeat. I think this is most of the people, you know, we may find there are a lot of us seasoned Toastmasters. Anytime that we're doing our speech, we do get this increased heartbeat. So it is very much okay, I would say, though it is one of the symptoms of that prior experience before you doing your speeches. Then butterfly in the stomach, I think that is very much known. Then there is a part of uncontrollable shakes. Sometimes you may be shaking just because of fear. So I think as we go between this session, but together with what Rashmi is going to present, which is on the practice and preparation, it will actually help you get to understand how we are able to control all of this. Lightheadedness, but also dizziness. I don't know, but I've never felt dizzy, but most of these symptoms I have actually quite experienced before I do my speech. And probably it's the same thing that you will actually be experiencing them. It is very much okay. It is that feeling that we actually get to feel before doing the presentation. So what can we do to manage this fear, this anxiety? There is what is called practice in front of the mirror. So for us who have actually we've prepared our speech, we can use our mirror to practice. And I would actually encourage when you're doing this, you can actually also be timing yourself. Like, how long are you using that? Because for a Toastmaster, for an ice-breaking speech, it is 4 to 6 minutes. So you just need to ensure like you're within the time allocated. And if you find you're exceeding the timing, how best or what part can you reduce so that you remain within time? Because part of the key skill that we really practice in Toastmasters is how we manage our time. You can actually take an opportunity to rehearse in front of the family. So for me, I recall when I was doing my ice-breaking speech, I think at the very beginning, before becoming like quite experienced, I used to record and share to my mentor. Rashmi is my mentor. So I think it's able, like, you just share. Yeah, but also it's an opportunity if you have somebody who is there ready to listen to you. It's actually a good goal. Yeah, then what else? You just deliver your speech before Toastmasters Club. Yeah, so this is, we do very encourage. I think as soon as you become a regular member, you also get to understand like doing your speeches into different clubs, you get to learn, but also to manage the fear or anxiety before doing your speech. Yeah, but also there's a part of giving presentation before other groups, anywhere you can. That also can actually be at work. Yeah, and for me, I would take it very personal, like from a personal experience. Most of the things that I do practice in that Toastmasters, I really also make time to practice them even at working place. So the like of things like doing an so it's really stick into my mind when I'm doing my presentations. Yeah, so that also can actually form part of it. Oh, thank you, Rashmi. Okay, before that, I wanted to share this script. This is actually my first speech when I was preparing for Toastmasters. So I used to record myself in front of my camera and try to evaluate myself and reuse where necessary. So,
have you ever thought of who you wanted to be when you were a child and who you are today? Madam President, for Toastmasters guest, good evening. Let me tell you a story of the last born. 30 years ago, in one of the most popular hospitals here in Dar, Aga Khan, Joe and his wife, Consolata, welcomed their added band of children to the family. They then became a family with 5 kids, who were Senwo, Marcus, Elizabeth, and the last one, Monica. Okay. Have you ever thought?
Yeah, so this was actually my first preparation as I was doing my ice-breaking speech. So I went in the conference room, like a meeting room. I was all alone, then trying to practice. And through this, it really helped me to evaluate myself. Yeah, and like, where do I really need to work or improve on? But also there's a part of visualization. You need to use your thought processes. Just think positive that everything is going to be all right. That is a very positive environment for you to support yourself. But also relaxation, you need to relax. All shall go well. Yeah, but also you can practice breathing practice or isometric exercise. It's just like that exercise that you're actually in the single spot. Just be able to practice your speech. Yeah, as like standing still without, you can actually have like ritual movement to it. Yeah. So to conclude, it is normal to feel nervous. It is very much okay. Your audience won't notice where you make mistake, where you forget. Yeah, but also use the method to exhibit confidence. We are there to just put in your mind Toastmasters as a safe environment for you to practice. So we are going to support you. We are going to give you constructive feedback, and it's free for you to practice. I mean, to practice. With that, I would love to leave you with a quote with this from Zig Ziglar, who once said, "You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great." So I am happy that you have taken this first step to do your ice-breaking speech. And I'll be there to cheer for you and really encourage you. And I think as you prepare, kindly reach out to any of the experienced Toastmasters that they can actually guide you on how best you can actually do it. So with that said, I would love to welcome if there is any question from anyone. Question, comment, how do you control fear? Because I know probably you're in a working space. How do we control it? How do you think you can also do it?
No.
Yes, Jackie, you wanted to comment?
Yes, I want to comment on something. Thank
Yeah.
you, Maria, for your good presentation. You made everything doable. I just want to emphasize on practice. Like if you practice, becomes so natural for you. First, when I was new at master, I felt that fear of speaking. What if I something wrong. But as in attending the sessions, I feel I can become like what excuse me, some me, but can proceed.
I think well done, Maria.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good presentation. Did she have a
Thank you,
question
Rashmi.
or she has gone to attend somebody?
Yeah, I think she was attending someone and requested if there is anyone with a question. I don't know, really, are you in a position to comment, to speak?
I just have a question. Sorry. Good
Yes.
evening.
Good evening, Lillian.
In managing anxiety, there's a point here, deliver a speech before your Toastmasters club. Can you
Yes.
please elaborate it? Sorry, because once you were explaining it, I had electrical issues here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So that actually means, yeah, and this is actually, if you're looking in a general, practicing it before Toastmasters club, it actually means it can actually be a Toastmaster, like at that Toastmasters, or it can actually be somewhere else. So by you doing your speech somewhere else, you're getting that experience, how you can actually control that fear. Lilian, was that clear?
Yes, it was clear, Maria. Thank you.
Yeah. Jackie, you were speaking something. Then I think the network, or we couldn't hear you well. If maybe you can come up again.
Okay, thank you, Maria. I was saying that you mentioned about practicing.
Yes.
If you practice more, it becomes so natural for you. I think it's because we are always holding ourselves back. But when we practice or when we share experience, our knowledge and everything, it becomes so nice.
Yeah, that's very much true. So preparation is key. Yeah. So if there is no any other comment or question, I would love to welcome Rashmi.
Thank you to our Vice President Education, Toastmaster Maria. And you rightly said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So let's all thank Maria for this wonderful tip session. You all can send emojis and love and congratulate her on completing this. And I can now go ahead. Like your questions were rightly put about practice, so we will move on to the next session on practice and how we can attain that perfection. And let me introduce myself. I am Rashmi Udeshi, the club president, also the current District 114 finance manager, and I love to be here and do this session with you all. And today's session is another interesting session on practice and perfection. Can I share my slides now? I will just share.
Yes, please. Yeah, I think you can share.
Okay, yes, okay, I am not able to see the
Ha,
slide. You
it's
can see the slide?
Rush.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can see it. I think we just need to put in presentation mode so that
you can see. Okay, let me just do that. Okay, can you see
yeah.
it now full?
Yes.
Okay.
It's 10 to 15 minutes, right?
No, this will be about 20 minutes. So you can time me at 18 minutes onwards. It means 18 minute will be the green card.
18.
Yes, yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So today we are going to talk about preparation and practice. Like before, sometime we heard about the aspect of fear and how you can overcome the fear aspect. But let's look at some key things which will help us to go ahead and work on these skills. So today's session of mine is going to cover why preparation matters, how to prepare, and what creates impact. So all three of you are going to do your first icebreaker, and this is going to be so important for you to practice well and prepare for your speech and create an impact that's required. Why? Because preparation and practice leads to excellence, and that's the stage where we want to go. Do you all agree that you all have come and joined Toastmaster to be better speaker, better communicator? If yes, then you may show me by an virtual hand or unmute and say yes. What is your objective? What is your objective of joining Toastmaster? If I can take an answer from each of you. Yes, Jackie, can you tell me your objective of joining Toastmaster?
Thank you, ma'am. My objectives are to master public speaking, to be able to communicate so that the time I leave a room, everybody understood me.
Thank you. What about Lily? Why have you joined Toastmasters?
To improve communication skills and also leadership skills. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Can Irene and Nuru share their feedback, or they will like to do it later?
Okay. Mine is same.
Okay. Okay. So I have broken down this into the steps, and which I call the grid, the 3 P's that power the 3 C's. So it is about, if you are ready with 3 P's, you are going to impact by having clarity, confidence, and connection. So now we are going to see how purposeful preparation powers your performance. So the first P I will be talking about is about preparation, which leads to clarity. Practice, the second P, leads to confidence. Presence, the third P, leads to connection. So now let's break this down into and see how this is going to help us. So as we spoke, there are 3 P's which are lay the foundation of speaking, and this is very essential as you all are doing your icebreaker, which is the first speech that you're going to do on the Toastmaster platform. You are going to use the skills and lay the foundation, and let's see how you're going to do that. When you're going to do preparation, you will have clarity. When you are going to practice, you will be more confident. And when you are going to have clarity and confidence, you will mark that you have given a presence in the club and you are connecting with all the members. And when you connect, you will make an impact. So the key is, if you are preparing well, you will unlock and show up, and your performance will be very powerful, and you are going to create an impact. And that is what I'm looking out for you. Once you will see how you are going to prepare, I'm sure you're going to work on those skills. So for preparation, what are you going to do? First, you all are doing icebreakers. So icebreaker is the first speech you are doing at Toastmaster. You are going to start with icebreaker being the first speech. It has to be something about you. If you have the key message, if you know what is the purpose of your speech. For example, the purpose of icebreaker is for the club members to know who Jackie is or who Lily is. So now you know that you have a purpose. You have to identify that this is the message I want to give to my members. So you are going to first find the purpose, what you want your members to know about you. Then you know the audience. Audience are the club members, and what they want to know? They want to know you. So you are going to prepare knowing the purpose and your message you want to give, and you know your audience. You are going to prepare your speech. Your speech should have a clear structure. We will go in the clear structure in the next slide. It has to be simple and it can be understood. So we will come to this, and then you have to practice and prepare and then deliver it confidently by being present. So on this slide, do you have any question? I would like to go slide by slide because by the end of all the slides, it might be difficult for you to remember what you are wanting to ask. Do you have any questions on preparation? Preparations are into 3 slides. You can see all the slides and then get to preparation. Now, for preparing a powerful speech, you should have an opening hook, an opening by which all the members get engaged in your speech. So as soon as you tell your first line, everyone should be eager to listen to your speech, and that is the opening which grabs the attention. Be ready with an opening, and then you have your core message. So core message are generally maximum 3 points, not more than 3 points. You have to limit yourself to 3 points because 4 to 6 minutes, I want to know little bit about you, because there is all so many speeches you are going to do. So limit your time to 2 to 3 minutes, 2 to 3 points in this speech. And then when you are moving from one point to another, it's called transition. So your transition has to be smooth. Like if you are saying about your childhood and then you all of a sudden come to your teens. So there is a transition. You should know what is the point and how you are going to move to the next point. That transitions should be smooth. And then you come with a closing impact. You come with a line. What you have summed up, what you have said about you, sum up in that last impactful line. You can close with something that this brought me to Toastmaster, or anything that is compelling and impactful about you. So when you do a powerful delivery, what do we see? How your voice is, how your body language is, your facial expression, how you use your pause and space, and how your energy and presence is on the stage. Now at present, this is your icebreaker. So for the powerful delivery, you can work on it later, but at present, you all should focus on the structure of your speech. Get a speech written, try to practice it, present it to your mentor. If mentor is not allotted, your vice president education is there to guide. I am there to guide. Any of us, we are there to guide. So, or our vice president Maria will allot you a mentor soon. The next is, like I said, what are you going to look? What is icebreaker? It is a story. Tell stories. It is a story about you. Tell it with authenticity. Once you tell your story, you are authentic. There is no flaw in that, right? So when you are telling your story, everybody knows that you are telling it with authenticity. And so you are going to engage the audience immediately. And once you engage the audience, remember 2 to 3 points, not more than that. And you have to close with an impact. That's the icebreaker speech. We don't want anything more. What we want in icebreaker is, it's not necessary to be 100% perfect. Like our vice president education said, that if even you have fear or you forget something, don't worry. Yes, go on. Nobody knows what you have written in your paper. It is a speech about yourself. You know yourself. Nobody else knows anything more about you. So you have to, yes, present your speech. That day, come, break the ice. You start your climb by you're going one step. You remember what Jiggler had said, Jagler. You don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great. Remember that. So, and own the stage, and your legacy begins with first speech. Remember, this is your icebreaker. Yes, go ahead with your icebreaker. So what happens in reality? Sometimes you're unprepared or nervous, unclear, or you don't have confidence. You're having pressure or you're having self-doubt. But you can gain confidence only after you prepare for your speech, because this is the starting point, that you are giving your first speech, and you will succeed if you practice well. So what are you going to do? You prepare your structure with clarity, you practice loud with confidence, and engage the audience. Now we are going to the second part, which says about practice. Some of the practice methods was already shared by our Maria, where she said, stand before the mirror, practice in front of the mirror, call an audience, practice in front of them, have a mental draft and practice and re-practice and do it couple of times. Rehearse the speech. You remember how Maria went in her conference room and recorded herself? Do that. Go to your mentor and say, I have prepared my speech. If Maria can tell you how many times did she do the first icebreaker, and I think icebreaker is the only time when you need the maximum help. Maria, can you say how many times we did?
I think it's more than 2-3 times.
Yes, I think that is the time.
Yeah.
Connect with your mentor and practice with your mentor and take the help, because there's nothing wrong. Ask for assistance. Mentor is there, they will guide you. So rehearse couple of times, become familiar. Also on the day of your icebreaker, come little early. Yes, see where you are going to speak, and visual aids might be, this time it might not be required because you're doing icebreaker. If you need, you have to tell your SA to support it, and you revise the draft again and again if required, because mentor always comes up with tips. Like I had for Kalle that your speech might exceed 4 to 6 minutes, because timing is very important. Be sure that you are within your time. Arrange for the feedback from your mentor. So that was about practice. And third thing that I mentioned was about the P, presence. So your ultimate goal is, from your speech, you are going to give back to the club and let all the members know who you are. And your speech must be something to inspire or something to impact. Members should know who Jackie is and what is she bringing to my club. I should know. And that brings that statement, your final statement will be the impact you will be creating. And everybody will know you for your icebreaker speech. Do it, practice it, prepare, practice, and be present and deliver it and create the impact. So this was about the 3 P's. And do you have any questions on 3 P's then? Because we will be dwelling in the C's now. Or you will like to take it at a later stage also, that is also okay. Yeah, Lily, I think you want to ask something on P's?
No question on my side, madam.
Sorry, did she ask me something? No. Okay. So you prepare, practice, and presence. What will that bring? Clarity, confidence, and connection. Clarity comes from the preparation. Confidence comes from practice, and connection comes from your presence. How you are impacting everyone with your story. So as we said, for delivery, how to have a well delivered speech? When you have a speech which has clarity. It's not that you have all and it's spread over. No, you start with the opening hook, have 3 clear points, then you come to a closing. Clear message, simple structure. Because if it's not clear, if your speech is all over, it will lose the impact. Your audience will be lost, and even at the end of the speech, they won't understand what you said. So your message has to be very clearly delivered. And how does the confidence come? From practice. Try to speak in front of the mirror and do that, and in front of your family, friends, mentor. Practice it couple of times, because confidence is not always there. It is not personality, it is preparation in action. And how do you connect? Be present. Look at the audience. Don't be shy. Yes, if you practice couple of times, you will have authentic presence. And remember, what did I say? Your story is your own story. It will be authentic if you present your story. There is nobody else who knows you. Only you know yourself. So people don't remember the words, but they will remember what you made them feel. That is the connection you want to give to your audience. And what are some other things that you will like to know? Is that you have an introduction about yourself, in that you prepare yourself physically, you have a rehearsal, mentor rehearsal, and you practice. People ask, how many times should I practice? Well, there's no magic number for that. But strong speakers don't practice once, they speak till the message becomes natural. And you know Sabyasachi Sen Gupta, he was a world champion of 2025, and he has said that be careful on the time. Timing is very important. Be authentic, maximize your max and minimize your minimum. So you do your best. This means you do your best where you can, and if you do your best, and you will see that you have already exceeded and you have done better. So you don't bother about the outcome. Like Maria said, if you are fearful, don't bother about that. Yes, go on, be brave, and yes, give your speech, give your A game, and the rest is not in your hand. Your icebreaker is already done. So I think, and so one thing that you do is that deliver it brilliantly, and you will see the magic unfold. And in the end, I will say the great speakers don't try to be confident. They prepare, they practice, and they show up with their presence. And when they do that, with clarity, confidence, and connection follows. Doing this, they make impact. And good luck with your preparation. And now, over to you all for questions. Do you have questions? Do you have questions? Lily, Irene, Nuru? Is my connection lost or?
No question from my end.
Okay, how did you feel? Did you understand the process? Do you have, Nuru, do you have your mentor?
Yes, Umesh is my mentor.
Okay,
And
so
I
you,
talked to him today. Yeah.
okay, so you're connected and you are practicing with him.
Yes.
Okay, you take a Zoom session with him, practice with him, and because in icebreaker speech, it's very essential to do at least 1 or 2 practice session. Practice once, have
No.
feedback, and practice again. At least 2 you should do. My recommendation
No.
is. Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. What about Lily?
I have no question on my side. I
Your-
think practice.
Okay. Who is
Practicing.
your mentor? Who is your mentor?
Pali Mena.
Okay, so you have connected with her and practiced with her.
Yes, we haven't started the practice, but we are communicating on how to prepare the speech. Yes.
Okay, so that's good. So if you have any more doubts, any of you, you do get back to us. And thank you. Good luck for your preparation. About Jackie. Jackie, have you gone through, have you heard us, and now what you feel? Are you confident to work on your icebreaker?
Yes, I'm confident, but I don't have a mentor.
Okay, so you can, today only I will tell Maria to allot, even I will tell Sajida that as soon as this meeting is over, at least somebody will be there to train you one to one. Yeah, so
Okay, okay.
Maria will
Yeah.
look into this right now after this meeting, and we will connect you to her. And I think then you
Thank you.
can do it. Yeah. And what about Irene? Irene, can you speak? I think she is not able to connect. Okay.
I have a question on, but not based on your presentation.
Okay. Please go ahead.
There is always a word of the day.
Yes.
Like how important to use it during the speech and necessity of it.
Yeah, so it's a very good question. Word of the day is always announced earlier. So if it is possible, yes, slot it in your speech beforehand. So you don't have to try to juggle with it and try to push it in your speech. So I think in another 2 days, I think the agenda even should come out. It will come out with the word of the day. Yes, try to pat it in your speech nicely, and so you can deliver a well structured speech. Yeah, I think again she has gone out. Yeah, so that is, yeah. So Lily, so you can just add it to your speech and it will be good.
Okay. Can it be given out earlier as possible, please?
Yes, so we are today only I was checking with Polly, like I will tell her to check and release it at the earliest. I think Samantha is the grammarian. We will inform her to release the word of the day at earliest. By tomorrow, I think you will have that.
Thank you, madam.
Yes, thank you. So, yes, any other questions? Do you all have any other questions? Are you feeling better? Are you all feeling better being attending this session than you were before attending this session? Because we have conquered the fear, we have conquered the preparations also.
Yes, and also I've got a way to go with.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So let me first stop this recording also. I will